Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely love the social corner. I want to see some more from the Legion. See if they can
I wish
anything.
people would know a bit more on like the internal meme of it now, of how it's kind of become. Long story
We
short.
should make it clear, by the way, also Reels sent the trolls. Reels was the troll.
Yes.
Sending it. He sent me some morning glory.
Yeah, he said that I could, also
you could use some morning glory.
Yeah.
He is the troll.
He sends all sorts of weird little packages
Just
in
because
game.
he hit 60 before everyone else, he's proud of that. But anyway.
I mean, you can tell it. Yeah, never mind. I'm not going to go in a comment on it. We'll leave it. We'll leave it as it is.
We'll leave it as it is. Let's talk about PUBG. We're going to Erangel. The classic Erangel is next. And obviously, as was just confirmed by the desk, the Chicken Dinner World Tour was completed by Na'Vi. Good to see another team collecting that. Of course, their 7th win. We're going to see whether anyone else can join them on Erangel. It's been a disaster site for Team Liquid, actually. Erangel, they've unsure themselves what's going on there. Here's the average map points. You can see Erangel, not a good map for Digital Athletics. Some would say it's because there's no compounds that they can find to stay in, whereas it suits them more in Miramar and Sanhok. So it's a problem for them. FaZe Clan, that's a team that's been having a successful weekend, regaining the top spot.
And I think, and there's no discredit to whatever we can say about FaZe Clan, but helping that along would be the diabolical performance so far of TSM. 4 points across 3 games. Ooh, this looks like a heated conversation.
It's the French. Shiver Monkey clearly.
Pull them in. Just pull them in. Okay, you pull them in, and then I will look.
SKUIJKE are listening on.
Them.
This is an interesting one. Okay. So this is clearly something going off of either the last game. Yeah, it's definitely still talking about the last game, which is actually the wrong time to talk about it now, right? You need to reset your mind. You know, what happened. It happened, so just carry on. Talk about it later on tonight when you're watching the VODs back and figuring out.
With your analysts as well.
With your team streams, yeah, exactly.
You can see the full story and the full picture of actually what happened.
Well, there's a problem team as well at the moment. While they've lost the top spot, it does indeed not tell the story. Aitzy getting himself some much needed energy.
Potassium.
It's like he's
brain food.
We see tennis players doing it, you see footballers doing it, now we got pro esports players doing it, getting that banana down at the break. Monkey's still going.
Yeah, Monkey's...
I feel like Shiv's just cut off listening to him now. He's just like, yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? I'd love to hear like what the conversation is. It'd probably be in French and we wouldn't actually be able to understand it, but...
Which is probably why SKUIJKE just like switched off, because they're like, we don't know what they're talking about right now. Scoob's quite happily admitted he's just as bad as me with German. And,
Englishman, German and French.
Or just language learning in general, really.
Thank God there's no language barrier on that roster.
Yeah.
I bet it is quite cool at the end though if it's just Shiv and Monkey left alive and they just go full French mode. It's like, right, engage God mode. Monkey just switches on and all of a sudden just batters everybody.
How close is Calvin getting to that screen? Bring it forward. I want to drag the screen forward. I want to get it closer.
I'm intrigued to know how whiter he can get his hair.
SIMSY and Gemty have it pretty close as well. Yeah, SIMSY's definitely got it close. Look how close that screen's for SIMSY.
Still smiles on Liquid.
He has to have the stubby keyboard because the screen's pretty much on the edge of the desk. That's where he's got it.
I've never understood it. It happens in every other major sport that we see. Major esport, generally they have it so close, but I've never been able to. I have to have it at distance.
I will lean forward, but I can't be that close. Like my eyes will just glaze over.
It's when you see players that use their mouse and keyboard behind the monitor that gets me. When they literally will huddle it and kind of hug it. It's like, good God, you're
I've not
engaged.
Seen certainly in PUBG, I've never seen a player like I have in Quake and StarCraft, actually. I should say I have someone in StarCraft before, that will play with his feet up on the desk. And it's almost like a laid-back approach, yet he's playing Quake at a pro level, which is bonkers because that's obviously as fast-paced as you can get.
You sure he's just not playing with his feet?
Just playing with his feet, yeah.
Just driving with his foot.
Todd, actually, if I remember rightly, I have to confirm this with Kalaris. I'm pretty sure Todd can play quite happily with StarCraft at the top level, well, as top as you can get online, with his feet up on the desk. sort of like sitting up and he has his keyboard on his lap. And think about, but bearing in mind, there's a lot of bloody key presses going on. Obviously, it's all about your APM in StarCraft, etc.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Anyway, that aside, this is Erangel Classic. It is a central plane right across the middle of the map, which should make most of the teams happy that they can reach their drop sites. I guess DESPERADOs and ENCE are really the only ones that got to stretch a bit up into the north of Severny and Stalba. It almost mixed it into Cheverny. I don't know where the came from there. But yeah, you can see DESPERADO's going up. Navi have actually gone out very early. Very appear was certainly possible from there. It's, they've decided, let's go coast. We're going tempo drop.
I want to track a few teams. NIP, TSM, Reciprocity. 3 teams that have had it rough today so far. Between them, we've got, what, 3 points NIP, 4 points TSM. ENCE, I don't want to be that guy whatsoever, but they are kind of struggling down the latter end of the table, 13th position overall. Reciprocity, you've just seen harsh words across the rosters. So I'm looking now to see how that affects their mentality, if it's a bit of a broken team towards the end of the day, or the words of wisdom from Monkey actually take full-blown effect and they do something either different, or it just ups their game. But certainly, there's a lot of people down there, 5 in total, that are below the double-digit point club. And you want to round out week number 4, you've only got 2 more games to do it. You want to be looking for a positive end to Sunday. Severny, up that neck of the woods. We'll see Stalba up there as well. And given where teams generally like to loot, you've got no one on Sosnovka because of the plane path. But we've got no one really toward the outer extremities of the north of that circle. A little bit of water in play. We've no idea where it's going to pull in for the first few. Let's also note that Navi are at their usual home location down where Ferry Pier is.
It's their old home location, right?
It is.
Yeah, Primorsk.
And they're only just arriving, so we're 2 minutes into the game and they've not started looting yet.
Yeah, well, they grabbed a few things, and I think they went through a few of the houses there. But yeah, it looks like they're going to continue. Senor and Bestlosh going to go back to their normal spots, but Pokamoldo and Doozy happy to loot down in Primorsk. So this is the first time in a while we've had Razor Edge and M47 actually splitting Yasnaya for a while. That has been, as Razor Edge obviously went Sosnovka yesterday and make adjustments based on the plane flight path, etc. Shiv out very, very early. Obviously, the plane went straight over the top of school, which is where Shiv was looting. Skoom did go out early as well. He dropped actually towards those yellows, so this is going to be a very quick early rotation. I think Shiv may actually just be going to pick up Skoom, possibly. I think looking like where he may be going, unless they're going to go over the Crossroads Bridge and maybe try and get a very, very early camp at the Cube.
Do you think FaZe do the old FaZe and go West Road? Excuse me, East Road?
Yep.
Take Coastal Road and then head up north?
All the way up there, and they'll go around the edge of north of Yasnaya. They used to go all the way around Stalba, right? But
the old school
They tend to go across the
Actually,
north of Yasnaya.
You say old school. It's not even old school. We've just not seen these circles for a while, have we?
No, not for a while. We had obviously over to the west side with the Zaki finish. The Zaki Fields finish. Very nice to see that one yesterday. Happy to see that. It's so light. It was on Friday, wasn't it? Same sort of thing. But SKUIJKE up north. Hence, boys on their usual loots. Widespread squeaky.
Do you agree with what Martin was touching on at the desk, that you think that their looting spot's actually part of the reason why there is... He didn't specifically say that, but he did touch on their looting spot. It is a bit out in the sticks, isn't it?
Yeah, it's strange that they never adjusted off this. They made the adjustment to go here in pretty much week 1 of Phase 1, right?
Oin.
Yeah, they made the adjustment to go here. They used to be... Where were they challenging before? But either way, ENCE decided, you know what, it's not worth it. Let's just go up there and we'll sort it out. And it worked for them, obviously, in Phase 1. It did surprise me that with, obviously, the teams changing positions, etc., that they didn't try and maybe fight for a better spot, a more central spot. Think of Yasnaya, for example. Razor Edge and M47 in there. They could have quite easily split that one. Hell, they could have Sosnovka if they wanted it. Generally, a lot of teams don't like it because of the rotation paths. You know, they could have even, I don't know, North George is open. There's a lot of options still out there that they could have gone with. That.
Second question for you. We're just going to kind of, because rotates are going to come through.
Yeah.
Do you think Liquid's a little bit scared? They're usually
they're
the
really late. So we noticed this on Miramar, right, as well on Picado. There were 5 minutes plus leaving Picado, which is unusual. So
and this is also unusual.
Making adjustments.
Back. I know they're inside the circle, but they are nowhere near the center.
They've not even moved.
No,
they're only just getting in vehicles now at 5:12, which
this is a sign of weakness. Potentially that they are concerned, and maybe the point situation is starting to get to them a little bit.
Well, what do you do when you're having a bad performance? You go back to basics, right?
Slow it down.
Slow it down. Back to basics. Stop, scout, think about it. Don't rush it. And we talked about it in Phase 2. The same situation. They were going 4 minutes trying to get to positions, and they found out that multiple teams were mirroring what they do. Now, they had to make adjustments based off that and change their position. We saw it on Miramar. They were starting to go a little bit more edge, scout, work the way in. We heard Gustav talking about it on the video yesterday, talking about how they've decided to, TSM's approach is now stop, scout, move forward, rather than take a 3-4 minute rotate around the north or south or whatever. Oh dear. Tiikzu's been caught out. Misa's coming in. That's just going to go horribly wrong for CrowCrowd. NOOKIE and Misa have managed to get some back themselves. They didn't expect NOOKIE to be around the rock, and that has caused a problem for 7. Ilevice, the last man standing down low, does get NOOKIE down. Timmy is the other side as well as Misa. Misa is with him on that side of the rock. We could be seeing 7 going down very early here, and they will. Misa with the nade. That is a belting nade. Look where Misa is.
Yep, that's an effort. That's all the way from the opposing side. It's gone up and over. It's done the job. Oh, 7. You're already at the bottom of the table, boys. What is going on? I can't. I'm not even going to start going into like things that are going right or wrong for them at the moment. It's just dire straits. It's a team we'd expect to see, unfortunately, in relegation if they keep playing like this. Navi,
love it.
They'll be benefiting off the fact that the circle is up north. Yes, there was down in Prim, but nobody, absolutely nobody is going to be in front of them for now.
Yeah.
Liquid have evacuated Pachinki, so that's clear if they want to just quickly drive by, maybe even take a school position somewhere like that. TSM, G2, again, at the moment just eyeballing each other up on a bit of a parallel transfer. FaZe Clan, what do you know? They've gone the coastal road. It's as if they've not done it a billion times before.
The full around Stauber, so it's the old school. They're realizing it's probably a bit too risky to go.
We'll see if they complete. Now, the only thing that they tend to do when they do this,
they'll go gas station.
They have done before, or they've got a bit more aggressive and gone to the woods with a little plateau where 2 members of ENCE are sitting. We'll see what they do if they go further. For me, there's no real reason to go to the gas station because it is quite far out. That's a damn good shot to the back of the head.
That's a little camp, that was. A little camp setup. So they passed by G2 a moment ago, who were in the compound that DA like to go to, actually, and tend to used to loot. But
if FaZe hit this plateau, they're going to hit ENCE.
No, they're going to go gas station. I'm almost certain they're going to go back to gas station because they're like it's a safe spot for your vehicles to go scout from, and then maybe work your way in. And wait, I like the Desperados have been greedy as well. They've gone for the scrapyard, the warehouse, and that double house compound. It's a very strong location if the circle goes that way. As Drayden goes down in a ball of flames, somewhat surprised he got caught out there because the Knights have just almost scouting greedily there. I would say at this stage, 8.5 minutes. They were already on the hills of Stauber, so surprised they've gone a little deeper on that.
So this position I'm talking about, and it's extremely strong because you have that elevated ridgeline to your left-hand side. You can park the vehicles. There's really no one else around you. You've got plenty of cover.
ENCE reacting to FaZe here. They're reacting to the position that FaZe have taken.
They eyeballed it, and then as soon as they started moving, they drove with them. So whether or not they're just following and tracking them.
And it has gone there. So the Desperado's position is what I was talking about. SIMSY's gone back to the scrapyard. TomiL's in the warehouse, etc. So that's very greedy at this stage. But we'll see whether it works out for him. That's a car knock as we expected. Most teams are actually within the next circle. They're just going to reposition. Looks like NIP are going to pull to the crossroads, so they're going to be happy there. Team Liquid will move forward. Now, where do they go? Because it feels like they're going to move into the back of Reciprocity and DA. DA have gone for that widespread that they usually tend to in around that garage, and they are going to get close. Meanwhile, TomiL sees the Knights, and Snark, this could be the second man down for them. Remember, Desperados are in this widespread. It's only SIMSY and TomiL there at the moment to try and keep the Knights at bay, but that shot absolutely works, and the Knights have been picked apart.
Not going well for GamerLegion also. Many teams just trying to find a bit of a better position to stand strong. The Knights are the second team to fall, rather unfortunate. We did mention FaZe Clan tracking where ENCE were going to be going. Unfortunately, ENCE decided to actually pull back to the old position where they left, and it's cost them. One player's already fallen. You've got potential for TRYFFELI here, should he not be able to get out the line of sight. Jimbo in the kill feed, that's going to be Shiv. Unfortunately, found and fallen. All these battles will be going on in a bit of a three-way. So we have Liquid, Reciprocity, and also Digital Athletics, and they're playing on the hills of Rosok. And by that, I mean just across the road on the little level 3 buildings that you have. This is a strong compound with Reciprocity if you want to be coming across that main bridge, because you're essentially just at their wit's end. They have the building, they have the vision, they have everything. But the problem is if Liquid can get any kind of long-range weapon and put it to good use, slowly but surely they can tamper them down and work them out of the buildings.
Na'Vi could play a part in this. There is a hill behind the road by Reciprocity and Team Liquid, and it looks like Na'Vi are going to pull up on it. So Na'Vi are going to be trying to get involved in that fight, and that may catch Team Liquid off guard because they're looking to try and position onto Reciprocity. And look at this, you can see Na'Vi starting to move in position. So Team Liquid were looking to go aggressive. They've backed away. Whether they just saw or heard Na'Vi pulling up, I'm not too sure. But instead, they're just going to consolidate their position and play it safe. And this may be going back to what you were talking about, Rich, how are Team Liquid starting to play a little scared? Are they starting to play, just keep it safe, which can often be dangerous, but we'll see if it works out for them.
What's the old saying? KISS, keep it simple.
Stupid.
Stupid. Depends if you want to add the double S on or not. But back to basics they go. We'll see if they lose anybody on this engagement on the building. You wouldn't expect them to push the cross just because of how much Overwatch Reciprocity will have on them on the approach. Main compound coming out of Severny at the crossroad will be in the hands of NIP. NELLOZ is on his own from G2. I think he's
such a so Tom, just to cut across, Tom's gone back to the warehouse. What a read. He's back in the vehicle now. He's going to go support SIMSY. So his play to go across support SIMSY stopped G2 getting into that compound. And warehouse was semi-protected because Calvin and Ultra were up in the house compound. TomiL had just gone back to warehouse, made sure it's secure. Now as the circle's about to shift, he's gone back to SIMSY at Scrapyard to try and cover it off.
If this also goes north, that will pay off such a...
And it does.
Oh my god, so they can do what they want now. I mean, you could have TomiL, essentially, so Ultra and Calvin just move into the warehouse.
I would keep Scrapyard, I think. I mean, so Scrapyard, obviously, you know, everyone sees this circle. We've seen this circle multiple times. This was the Phase 1 circle. We had this so many times. Yes, they're going to go across the warehouse. So they're going to cover off. It's that big sloped hill downwards. NELLOZ, what a shot. Catching Mitraleius on a moving bike. That is not an easy shot to land. But now he's going to get crashed. BeautflDeath coming around the side. Now G2 do have the support, and DESPERADO is going to give him cover fire as they move in. There's G2 coming around the side. Beautiful just went completely around him. And DA will go down. G2 take them out.
I dread to think what Twitch chat looks like right now after that play. Anyway, TSM, they're making a move onto Desperados. Michael will be caught out in the open because we have multiple waves of fire that will be coming their way.
The sandwich between Desperados.
Yeah, and you got FaZe Clan who's also just gone to the back side of it, which is going to be problematic. N47, so every single angle, unfortunately, they will be held dead to rights. Rory is like, oh, I can hear.
This is fine.
I can hear Sweet Death outside approaching. Don't touch me, please. Just the fire and the flames. Good lord.
All right, so Team Liquid moving up in towards the hillside area of Reciprocity. NIP still at that crossroad. They've got a really quite a greedy split, actually. They need to be careful they don't get caught out. FaZe moved into the house in stack that Desperado's abandoned. So working out well for them. N47 way out east. Raise your edge on the hillside south of Desperado's scrapyard compound. And Na'Vi, where are they going to go? If you're caught now with this circle, if you're caught on the western side, it can start to be problematic because of this big open run down it. And that's what Na'Vi are sort of looking towards, thinking, how do we get out of this? And how do we keep our vehicles safe? They're going to try and tuck them in as close as they can to this yellow to try and keep at least a couple of tires alive.
Everyone's just spacing out and finding a bit of breathing room. Liquid playing the edge, playing very cautious PUBG at this moment in time. It's not the typical Team Liquid play, but with how many little points they've been racking up.
But I like the fact they had made no attempt to center up.
Yeah.
They came in late, they knew they were late, so they said, right, let's play edge. let's play edge. We're normally a center team, let's play edge. It's working out well for some of the teams out there.
Everyone's starting to, and we spoke this yesterday, understand how teams rotate and what their tendencies and likelihoods are to pass certain areas. You can begin to put individual players there and watching those crosses and
Liquid
watching
are going
for
to crash
those
MBS. They're going into
transfers.
NIP's compound. MBS is the only man there at the moment. The rest of the team Liquid are at the crossroads. So MBS, he's got in his dash here. He's trying to get away from them.
Blocked him.
Yeah, they've blocked him straight in. He's not going to get away from that one. I'd be very surprised yet. So he's called out. I don't know whether they get the point yet. It will get stolen away from them by CrowCrowd. There's many teams watching it. You see the circle kind of centering up again. So that move paid off. That's the compound they wanted to keep.
Good little play from Liquid. You can't really read it for the simple fact that this whole compound itself is in a digital. They've had no line of sight on it, so they've just had to say, you know what? Let's have it, lads. Let's crack on.
You could argue it was a little too greedy for NIP, if anything, for the 3-1 split at that stage.
Yeah, I suppose when you're over there as well with those houses that you've actually got, really, you control the West, so what's the point in having one man there on his own? You're not. The reason that you do those splits is to give you a bigger land grab or a bigger arms reach into a circle. Really, from that point, that one man isn't doing too much because regardless where the circle is, you're going to be the same distance from your opposing combat. It's not that much of a... You wouldn't really necessarily take a 2-2. There's no reason for it.
So let's look at the map. You can see the problems now. CrowCrowd have got an issue. They're either going to crash NIP, which it looks like they will do. Reciprocity are going to have to do the similar job. So CrowCrowd, they're thinking we can take this back house. We'll see if it works for them, knowing that NIP are down a man and knowing that they're going to be here because obviously it was CrowCrowd that stole the kill away from NIP. NIP themselves, they can't leave the compounds because Team Liquid have shots on them. They have angles on them. Reciprocity, they have a similar job. They've just watched Team Liquid go past them, go around them, and take that compound. And now Reciprocity are in no man's land. They have no compound. They're going to have to send it for a ditch or push a team for a shack.
Scoom's trying to feel it out and make a decision on what to do on this scenario. It is pretty difficult. That shot in the distance comes from quite a distance, to be fair. That's mxey on the opposing side of where M47 are. They're just on the edge of the white. All the way on the east. That's a bit of a 400-meter. GamerLegion getting a bit close to Na'Vi for their liking. The grenades and utility will be committed. You can see Na'Vi's already just pulling it, even at this point, defending its vehicle, so it has
that was really
maneuverability.
The only option that Reciprocity had was down here. Because G2 are in the shack in the distance, it's not great. I think the fact that Na'Vi are actually busy being engaged by GamerLegion has kind of bought them the time to get in here, because when Na'Vi swing and turn around, they're going to have a pretty open angle on Reciprocity, as have TSM, it seems.
Oh, look at that cross.
Caught in the, look at the tracer fire coming across.
I know. Such a horrendous way to die. They've committed utility, whether it was one individual player or not. I actually think they hit him through the smoke, to be fair.
It was Team Liquid that got him as well.
Yeah.
It stole that kill away. There's a knock on the back there, so Aduza's down.
Got to be careful if you be on as well. You're kind of lingering in the distance over there on your own in the open.
Oh, N47 might move on that. They just got Lynxy down. T-Bone trying to work on it, so that's happening in your picture-in-picture there, as he's just using his pylon as his cover fire.
Provided that TRYFFELI and Calder Mentor give the cover that they need, they should, in theory, they should be able to keep them at bay and away from that little bit of territory that they've got, but
it's been a while. I love this. I love this. It's been a while since we've had this circle. It's been, we saw it way too many times in Phase 1, but I love the fact we've got it once again in Phase 3. This was where ENCE picked a lot of their points up as well. They're sitting in the ditches at the moment in the north, and there is the circle shift, DESPERADO split. Now, the 2-2 split, the greedy split, is possibly looking a little too much, because that warehouse is going to be very hard for two players to hold. They're almost certainly going to get pushed by either ENCE or somebody else making the way, and that's why they're in the car. They want to go back to Scrapyard. Team Liquid. Now, who's scouting this? Who's scouting Desperado's move? Team Liquid, do they see it? Do they realize they haven't got vision on it at the moment? Now, they're seeing Desperado's moving. Do they realize the warehouse is exposed? I don't think they do. They're going to go for the shack. The Roar is in. That's almost certainly where they're looking. They're going to get shot at by the shack. They're going for the ditch that FaZe are in now. They're going to go, oh no, not the wooden barrel shack. Ugh. That's a horrible spot to take, and FaZe are just peppering them along with Desperados.
All the bullets, the players, they're just falling back to back. This is so unfortunate for Liquid.
ENCE take the warehouse. The warehouse was exposed. And
they were probably late by about, what, maybe 10 seconds to get the eye line?
So Ibby's still alive. Can he get the revives off on them? They've lost one. Might be able to get them all back on their feet in there. You never know.
They'll all just lay down and pray for mercy.
Rory actually got took out, by the way, in that crossfire somewhere. So TSM are going to lose him. This battle on the road is going to get messy. CrowCrowd themselves, NIP, Na'Vi, all need to make their way in. Reciprocity still not in the new circle as well, along with N47. And Raise Your Edge holding single man inside there, along with mxey, who has to move his bum.
Oh, look at this. The creep up from a doozy while the smokes are down. Hoping he's going to go for the res. If not, he'll have absolutely no idea that he's just death. Stabs him and strikes from the left-hand side.
Oh, this is horrible.
Aitzy's
on the roof, right? He's on the roof, yeah.
Yeah, they've got him on the feet, but really, what else can they do after this? The only reprieve might be some smokes. Pull the vehicle, the black vehicle in front of them, pull it towards the white, take the tyres out, and then work that way around with the barrels. That gives you something.
Such a risk. NIP are sending it. Where are they going to end up? They've got two players in the bike. They're going for Iro's shack. I think Gustav's in there with him as well, if I'm not mistaken. So they've kind of sent it in. James has once again been knocked, but NIP, they're trying to push in towards this shack. Have they got anything? Look at that. They're both on about 2 hit points. Gaxi with nothing alive. It's Desperados that will get one, and Iro will take the other. They shut the door back on that shack.
Na'Vi are trying to fly this one.
The GamerLegion have rightfully just said, let's just collect the points we can on the outside. And they took down Reciprocity. So Bjorn, the last man standing for them as he works his way in. N47 down to a solo player as well. That is the danger of the circle if you haven't gambled on getting those positions. I love the fact that Desperados took that gamble on the 2 places and consolidated at exactly the right moment.
We'll see if it's paid off with this circle shift. It most certainly and utterly has. Sending the 2-2 initially to hold control, and right at the very start of the game to ward people off and just work between them and then consolidate at the perfect time.
And the move from TomiL to leave Warehouse and join SIMSY as G2 pushed it, because they could have lost it. That could have been G2 full in there, yeah.
It's keeping people at bay. It's stopping these engagements. It's stopping you wasting your utility and your vests, your helmets, your bullets, everything, your meds. And by doing so, it's paid off wonderfully. FaZe are
moving for the little ditch position near that shack. So this could work out. And this will work out because they have Fuzzface in the little building on the right-hand side. So they have the cover from the hillside. The only thing they've got to worry about is Team Liquid's position at that wooden shack, which obviously they've been peppering with bullets for the last 5 minutes.
ubah's going to get against the wall and use the vehicle for cover. This will put it within reaching distance of throwing some grenades towards the Desperados. And how FaZe are currently fanning out, they're controlling a good 40% of the map here because this stops N47's advancement, should they be able to peek up.
This is not good. N47 looking to try and benefit from it. Yeah, that Dacia is not great.
Get in the cars, boys, and run. Get in the cars and run.
Where are they going to go? And there they're going to try and smoke it and run. You're going to go around the Dacia.
Oh my God, he hit the shot.
Chris getting him down, but the thing is they can't get to the shack. Look at the Chris is going for it. It's just like, I'm going, boys. I'm going. I'm going to make it. NELLOZ has been caught out. Everyone's taking shots at Chris, but he might get to the tree, you know. I think he's only gone and done it. He's managed to get there. The question is, he's safe. He's got N47 from the right, Fuzz from the left. Yeah, if someone's going to get it up, and there goes G2. 8th place for them.
So FaZe has put all 3 bodies.
Bjorn that snuck another kill. Bjorn is collecting points for GamerLegion here. Now Vascu just realised there's somebody else sneaking up on them, but here goes ENCE. They're trying their move now. They've moved down to the shack. Rory was knocked out of this shack a while back, so it is available as Rustanmar, who did go down a moment ago. Yeah, it's just going to get peppered. He was bleeding out fast as it was. Ira, the man that lands the shot, goes out the back. Hello, that's a knock on the SIMSY. Are FaZe going to try and move on that? No,
they can't. It'd be like
it's open. Yeah, there's the open season
at the moment. Between that and Desperados, they've got the 2 strongest positions on the map because they can just work their way off of it. It's kind of all commanded by what Fuzzface is doing from that one key location. That one shack is essentially just keeping so much information.
That was a headshot
on their side. That'll finish him.
Play zone's got him. Yeah.
Yoink.
Evil will get it. 6 kills for N47. A bit better of a day. GamerLegion. Well, Bjorn did his job, got the points, got the placements, goes down in 7th. Fuzz is delivering right now. 6 kills and counting for FaZe Clan. The circle goes once again to Desperado's scrapyard compound, and you can see the move now that FaZe made to get to that road has absolutely paid dividends. They've got 3 down there. Fuzz is going to move at the very last minute. He's waiting for all these guys. He's got his bike there. You can see it's lying down. Purposely left it on the ground. And another great shot. Yeah,
he'll just sit here all the way until when the blue starts to encroach, or he thinks it's, you know, there's nobody left. At the moment, he's pretty safe, so he can pick up as many frags as he can before getting on the bike and bail into the rest of, because he's got such a safe area to retreat to. It's going to be so damn hard to take him off the back of that bike on the hill as he works his way down. TSM, on the other hand, they've got to come out of their shack. And everybody, absolutely everybody, you might even see if he's got a frag grenade, cook it himself and kill himself.
Yep, easy. Easy for Ibby, that one. TRYFFELI comes straight in, not expecting someone to still be alive down there.
They did actually, didn't realize they did use the vehicles as we suggested. They pulled them up against one another to give him covering fire. That's a belter of a shot. Only tabs him, but it's done more than enough to force them onto the floor.
steals it. That's a point for TSM into the top 4.
Can he get to the rock from there? That'll be a big boy play if he can. Because there's nobody behind him. Everyone's in front, right, so he might be able to make top 3 here.
Time to move. Fuzzface join the rest of his team. The thing is that Ibiza is still alive at his little shack here. He just sees, I'm going to say, now he sees, he realizes he's got an angle. Fuzz gets caught out. I think he was just getting on the bike, right?
No, we'd actually made it down. Probably a good few, 500,
yeah.
It's 500 yards. So that's a beautiful shot to be able to remove him from that. He had such a safety net to get to the rest of FaZe Clan, so to take him down at that range on a moving vehicle is huge. Absolutely huge for Desperados.
Huge plays from Ibby. Gets Gustav down, gets him into the top 3, and now he's going to make the move.
Oh no, not enough speed, Ibby.
Oh no!
Not enough speed, not like this.
Wanted to go through the doorway, but no.
Okay, so if you FaZe Clan, how do you play this? You know exactly where they are, and you know they need to come out. You've kind of pinned them in. I don't think well, we can't say Desperados hasn't been proactive and moved around this because there was nowhere else to really move. Once you come out of that, you had so many players that could shoot you individually.
Will FaZe be second for the 3rd time today? And will they finally pick up the win?
They're at a man disadvantage, but between these walls and the buildings and the walls outside,
it's grenades very hard.
Well, grenades can bounce off the building and basically hit you and pin you in if you're outside.
Oh, I like it, Calvin. He wants to get up high. He wants to get on that roof. TomiL has gone around the backside of the crates. Oh, he sees Calvin. He sees Calvin go for the roof. Aitzy's going to have the little tiniest of smoke angles to see Calvin up there. Sees SIMSY. Sees TomiL as well, jumping around the back. Aitzy's getting all the information here of all the player positions. They turn the shots on them. mxey's got close enough. They're going across the road. They've got to the walls. And that is a big move from FaZe to be able to get close enough. Calvin's down low. mxey's against the wall of the compound. ubah's now moving across the road as well to cover fire. The grenade's going up. Is it going to be enough to try and line it up? They've still not got a knock out of this. That nade goes low, but look at SIMSY's position. He realizes the danger. The IGL for Desperados moves out and gets number 10. Aitzy goes down, and it's all on ubah in the smoke. And Desperados will be picking up the win. And, well, FaZe Clan, it's another 2nd place. It will be an 8-kill game.
Oh, he's got 2.
He's got 2 out of it.
He's a damn good player. And in 4 versus 1, you never want to count him out, but Desperados get the job done. He knocks out 2, but SIMSY's read onto mxey at the front of the wall is fantastic. Had he been there and be able to do damage up close and personal, it could have been dire straits for Desperados, but the read is good, the knock is good, and the win is even better. They needed that, and it will feel oh so sweet.
Yeah, I mean, the top 4, obviously you're looking at TSM went out at, what, 4th place, got the points in there. Didn't really get too many kills. They had a few. Iro collected a few there for them. Team Liquid also a 3rd place for them. Much needed placement points for a team that's been lacking a little bit. Very much changing their style, but Desperados take FaZe. Another 2nd place for FaZe Clan, but it's Desperados that pick themselves up yet another win. Their 5th win of the FaZe. They're with Pala.
They will shortly be with me, D-Man. Desperados' 5th win of the FaZe. A satisfying one, SIMSY?
Yes, very.
In what way?
I mean, we've been struggling like on the other maps, and it feels good to like we're getting like really consistent, or at least more consistent on Erangel. So and we need like the points, and closing in these wins are like really important. So yeah, good.
Before we get into some more serious details, TomiL, you did shave your head, didn't you?
Yes, you can see the results of shaving my head right here.
There we go. Well, you're looking fresh, sir. SIMSY, getting back into the details of the matchup. When you're in the final moments against FaZe, and we know they have a very strong end game, do you have to plan any differently?
Yeah, like they play really good together, and like they always like play the momentum of the game. But we had like a better position overall, but they could like really touch it out by smoking themselves close. But we knew like they were pushing close, so we just like tried to like smoke off the team. Like we created a wall between them, and then we just pushed and got to like the knocks, and there were only 3, so we had the man advantage as well. So I mean, it should be winnable at that point. Yeah.
You guys did a great job throughout that match. Nonetheless, it did seem that that compound you ended up in, you were able to stick it out there for so long thanks to the circle. Was that handed to you a bit in a sense, and how do you still continue to play optimally when the server just seems to be throwing everything in your favor?
Yeah, like we were pretty greedy. Like we were splitting like 3-way like for like the first circles, and then we even split like on the 4th, I think it was on 5th, and then we like at one point like now we have to stop splitting because we're gonna get crashed really hard soon, and it paid off. Like we chose the right compound because that's like the thing with splitting. So yeah, of course, like the circles were like legit in our face the entire game, but that happens as well sometimes, you know.
Absolutely, it's part of the game. TomiL, any final words? We've got one more match to go on Erangel.
Yes, it was nice getting a gifted game like every other team gets on Sanhok, so it felt pretty well. Felt pretty good.
There we go, TomiL with a bit of banter to end things here on the floor. Like I just said, one more match to go. Erangel again, do not go anywhere.
Good win there by Desperado. They take the junkyard and they hold on tight. It's a very powerful compound when it comes to those later game circles up towards that position. Joining me, Frozen Avenger. And guys, that was pretty simple and pretty clean cut for Desperado, to be honest.
I mean, it could have ended up another way. They had earlier on a 2-2 split between the warehouse and the junkyard itself. And junkyard is like, it's one of the places we see a lot of people would crash into to try and take over. Same with the warehouse as well.
Yeah. And overall, obviously, they lose Servany. We would expect them to win some of these games, or at least get a good position in some of these games. They managed to get a fair amount of kills throughout the game as well. Put a lot of pressure on the teams outside, made sure they didn't get crashed at all. Kept 4 guys alive, and obviously won against FaZe. Unfortunate. I saw some more smokes on FaZe. I was hoping that they were going to smoke off the compound completely. So they could have taken like both an approach towards the compound, but also maybe continue along the ridge line there is all along the way of the close to the road. So they would have 2 angles on them instead.
I have a question though regarding that. Even if you smoke off the entirety of the compound, having 1 man on the roof is very important to try and kind of negate some of that, surely?
For sure, yeah.
Well, if you have that 1 man on the rooftop, he's going to be the main target for everyone who's trying to peek him. And you don't really have any cover more than the rooftop itself. So as soon as you peek your head up there, it's so easy to spot and so easy to just go for it.
And that's why it was so important how SIMSY played as well, because he was kind of outside the wall playing spoiler, putting a little bit of pressure, because they knew obviously, okay, they're smoking so much toward us.
Yeah.
And they want to probably push the compound. So he was already outside on the wall, taking that angle, which was extremely well played by him.
FaZe, of course, getting themselves yet another 2nd place here throughout the day as a whole. And of course, it was a little bit trying to get this done. And obviously, the flicks from ubah to be able to find the target straight away. Of course, he knew there was 1 guy on the roof, as you guys were mentioning, but still very
impressive flick.
Yeah, and I mean, one of the important things was the knock from SIMSY onto Fuzzface when Fuzzface was up by the shack there.
Yeah.
That was super important, because without that knock, FaZe would probably have crashed with 4 men straight towards the compound.
Yeah, agreed.
Points coming in, 9th through 16th. NIP once again finding themselves in the 0 points club. Unfortunate for them. And then up towards the top, it's Desperados, 22 points on the board for the Desperados.
Desperate for more points, I would say.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I'm able to give you. But so far, with this game, they've actually broken their own record of their best week possible. They're at 96 points so far.
Yeah.
4 more points. The next game, they'll break the 100-point limit there, or 100-point kind of threshold for that. So overall, really a big step up for them from last week and this week compared to their first 2 weeks. So they're getting more and more comfortable here in the tournament.
Guys, FaZe is pumping the damage today. Is this like on record or on pace for like biggest damage day of all time?
It very well could
It
be,
could
considering,
be.
yeah.
It could be.
We'll have
or
to
it
look
could
at
have
that.
been Knights from FaZe 2. But
I'll
Yeah.
give you answer on that next week.
Nice, I like that.
what we see here from FaZe, though, 2,500 damage. It comes down to them being on the north side there. And you basically have this big valley, and everybody's visible for FaZe Clan. And they were basically just shooting everybody.
Let's take a look at the overall standings as well here between all of our teams participating in Phase 3 as up towards the top. The kings of this phase so far in TSM have been dethroned over the past couple of games as FaZe now claims themselves that top spot. There is the potential that it would be a back-to-back phase from phase... Oh, damn it.
No.
From phase 2 to phase 3. There's no other way to explain it.
Clan.
By FaZe Clan. Fuzzface phase.
Oh no. No, stop. Okay, let's get down to the numbers as well. TSM, 17 points less,
Yeah.
but FaZe Clan has 41 more kills. 41 more kills.
That's a lot.
It's really impressive, honestly.
Very good stuff. And there's a big gap between that 1 and 6 overall, and 47 there with 353 points. Even up towards where G2 is right now is still a 20-some point difference.
Oh, my numbers wasn't updated. It's 10 more kills.
It went from 40 to 10.
41 to 10, yeah. FaZe Clan has 10 more kills than TSM.
Brilliant. Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Any other things that really stand out to you, Frelzy?
I mean, N47 still keeping that 6th place down there. NIP is closing in, though. NIP has a wonderful weekend so far.
Wonderful.
Wonderful, with 99 points, and hopefully in the next game they can break that 100 points. Miracle was promising me 20 points in this game, but
20 points.
turned out to become a 0-point game.
He was lying.
That is true, though.
It's flat lying.
I was much more kind of down to earth with that. I asked Vard for 1 point. He looked back over his shoulder and smiled at me, and I was sure it was home, but let's take it for the next game, boys.
I'm just wondering what's going on this weekend. Day 1, Raise Your Edge, 1 point. Day 2, Liquid, 4 points.
Yeah.
Day 3, NIP, 3 points so far.
Not good.
It has been a week of extremities, it feels
And
that.
extreme circles as well.
Yeah. In extreme circumstances. No, you don't
That
mind
sounded like a movie introduction.
No, it's
trailer.
one of those documentaries where people are chasing tornadoes. It's like, do you think?
No.
In extreme circumstances, they try and find the ultimate storm.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of a trailer to like an extreme movie
Yeah, I
or some stuff
suppose,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sharknado. We got it.
Got him.
That's an extreme circumstance.
It is very unlikely as well.
I agree. Pretty unlikely to
Could
say
happen
the
though. I
least.
mean, you have tornadoes, hurricanes, and they can bring up some water and stuff like that. And if in that water they bring it up, there's a shark in there that it will be thrown around, you know.
Have you seen a Sharknado in real life, Froz?
No.
No? Well,
No, me neither.
Have you?
No.
No?
One day.
And, it's
One day?
and honestly, because the reason why you're asking these kind of weird questions is because we're not getting enough Ask PL questions, right, James?
Yes. That's the exact reason I'm asking that. Of course, you can use the hashtag AskPL and ask us if we've seen Sharknadoes in the past. We already gave you the answer to that one. Maybe you want to ask something else. Maybe you want to ask if we've seen any other kind of environmental hazard. I don't know. It's weird.
Name one.
A volcano.
What? You haven't seen
I
that?
have seen a volcano.
Oh.
Yes.
Wait, you've seen a volcano?
Yes.
Or a volcano erupting?
A volcano.
In
I've
Ungu-
seen the lava.
In Unguru?
No, not in Unguru. Oh, no. It was in Lanzarote.
Oh,
There you
okay.
go. Yeah.
All right.
There you
nice.
go. Let's stop. Production is telling me needs incessantly to end this segment because it's
It's a good
such a
idea.
disaster.
Disasters.
We're going to go.
Disaster segment.
Natural disaster?
We'll see you in a minute. Bye-bye.